In our today's session, we will be discussing about loops with conditional statements. In the last session, we covered for loop. For loop is a loop that executes in a given range. We need to provide it in a range which have a starting point, ending point, and a gap in between. We learned how to write a for loop. We also learned to write a program in a for loop. In our today's session, we will see how we can use conditional statements with the for loop. Let's have a look.
Also, if you want to become a successful data analyst and you want to learn from our industrial experts, then you may call on the number given below, or you can also click on the link given in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free. So let's get started, guys.
First of all, what is for loop with conditional statements? The use of if-else statement increases the ability of the loop to complete the task effectively. For example, so what we can do, when we are using a loop, we can provide conditional statement to use it for a special conditions that are there inside the loop. Let's have a look how it can be done practically. So here I'm going to write for loop with conditional statements, right? For loop with conditional statements. Now, first of all, how we write for loop? I'll be writing a for loop. Let's say I'll take a range up to 50. That for I in range 1, starting value would be 1, or we can start from the 0 also, comma, up to 50. So if I'm taking 50, I'll be writing 51, and I'm not taking any gap in between. But I want a certain condition to be satisfied. I want that if I, when divided by 5, let's say that I want all the multiples of 5. There are 2 methods. One, you can use the gap also. One, you can use a conditional statement as well over here. That if I divided by 5 is equal to 0, in that condition print I. So if I run the program, it writes all the numbers that comes in the table of 5. At the same time, if you want to add else also key okay. As a kid, have you played this game Bingo? I used to play it a lot with my friends. That whenever a multiple of any number comes, we used to say Bingo. So let's do this thing over here. That instead, whenever a multiple of 5 comes, I'll print Bingo. And whenever it's any other number other than 5, like other than a multiple of 5, in that condition, we will write that number. Like we used to say it in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, and Bingo. So instead of saying again 5, we will be just saying bingo, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, bingo, right? So else print I. Now let's have a look how this looks like. Okay, so it's writing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the multiple of 5, bingo. 6, 7, 8, 9 on the multiple of 5, bingo. 11, 12, 13, 14 on the multiple of 5, bingo. So here, along with the for loop, we can provide for a special conditions that whatever conditions we want to give, we can give over here and it will execute that. Also, let's say I'm writing a program to enter multiples of 3 and 5 up to number 50. So let's see how we can do that. So for I in range 0, 51, we can use 1 also over here. So I'll go with 1, 51. And if I, when divided by 3, gives the remainder 0, and I, when divided by 5, gives the remainder 0, in that condition, we will print I. Now, let's run and see what happens. I'll put the previous one inside the multi-line comments, and let's run it. Okay. So it gives me 15, 30 and 45. So up to 50, there are only 3 numbers in which are the multiples of both 3 and 5, which is 15, 30 and 45. So here you can see we can use a for loop and provide with the special conditions that we want to use, and it makes our program more effective. Conditional statement has a vast application and we will be using it with various types of functions. I hope the for loop with conditional statements is now pretty much clear to you. In our next session, we will be discussing about the while loop. While loop is a kind of a loop which executes till the time the condition is true. We will be learning about it in detail in our next session. So stay connected and I'll see you in the next session.